of the public body and village staff, while maintaining the 6 feet of social distance between individuals required by Executive Order 2020-43. Accordingly, the opportunity to view the virtual meeting at the village is available on a first-come, first-served basis. Members of the public may also view and participate in the meeting via online our virtual Lake Bluff virtual meeting. You can dial in 312-626-6799 and enter ID 884-1619-0394 for that. And also can be viewed on Channel 19. All right, it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic that stands, a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We have consideration of the minutes of October 7, 2020 Village Board Special Meeting and the October 12, 2020 regular meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Dewar, and there was a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Marquis. Thank you. Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Inkerman.
Aye.
Trustee Charlo.
Aye.
Trustee Dewar.
Aye.
Trustee Marquis.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
And at this point in time at this meeting, we open it up for anyone who may want to speak to any issue they may have that is not on tonight's agenda. Do we have anybody, Drew, that would like to speak?
Madam President, we do have 2 individuals present here in the boardroom, but they're here to speak on item 7A.
All right, okay.
And
We'll
as far as
what?
it doesn't appear that anybody else is raising their hand to speak to anything that's not on the agenda.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. All right, we have going down to item 6A, which is the warrant report from October 13th through the 26th, 2020, and September 2020 payroll expenditure. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mr. Toll, or was that Mr. I'm sorry, was that Mr. Meyer? I apologize.
I
think Aaron got it first.
Okay, all right. This is for expenditure of village funds for payment of invoices in the amount of $197. $395.71 for October 13th through the 26th, which is also expenditure of village funds for payment of payroll in the amount of $300,716.37, which makes total expenditures of $498,122.08. Do we have any questions for the Finance Director regarding the warrant report? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Charlo.
Aye.
Trustee Dewar.
Aye.
Trustee Marquis.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Inkerman.
Aye.
All right, item 6B, which is the September 2020 financial report. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer, and do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Marquis. All right, I will turn it over to the Finance Director to give the highlights of the financial report for the month.
Good evening. Sure. As some highlights are sales tax revenues received in May of 21 through September are $1,267,888, which are $215,314 less than fiscal year 2020 receipts. Building permit revenue for fiscal year 21, May through September, is $124,840, which is $85,595 less than the same reporting period last fiscal year. And just on total revenues of $5,257,012 are $958,390, or 15.4% less than May of 20. through September revenues. The largest declines are in property tax revenue of $589,160 due to the payment extension dates, of which $517,651 was received in October. Sales and home rule tax, $185,724. Permits and licenses, $132,006, and investment earnings of $38,797. FY21 current expenditures are consistent with or less than budgeted. The May through September expenditures of $3,676,172 are $129,285,000 less than the expenditures for the same period in fiscal year 20. And to address the financial uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic, the village adopted a budget that incorporated numerous reductions in revenues and expenditures. Sales and income tax expenditures were reduced by $740,356. A freeze of $180,000 in general fund transfers to the vehicle replacement fund was enacted. A reversal of $410,000 in interfund transfers was approved. Expenses were reduced in the general fund by $639,600, operational capital improvements, and fiscal year 21 transfers from the general fund were decreased by $630,000.
Thank you, Bettina. Are there any questions, comments for the finance director?
You know, I do have a quick question, and I'm guessing we're sort of way out in front to ask this, but it's probably pertinent. Do we have any guidance from the county as to whether they might stretch or modify property tax receipt dates for next year in such a way that we can maybe better plan cash flow for the calendar year 2021?
So I have not heard one word with regards to changes in due dates for next year.
Nor have I. Have not.
Yeah, it's had an impact on the village, and I think that's why I asked the question.
I think it's an excellent question, and I think certainly we need to be asking that along with the other Lake County municipalities I know who are interested in this and feeling the same issues. So we'll actually have a meeting with some of these folks in the next few days. I will bring that up.
Bettina?
Is that some?
Sorry, go ahead, Bart.
No, I was going to say, is that one of the kind of thing that the Northwest Conference would engage in?
It could to some extent, yes. Also, I'm on the board of directors for the Lake County Municipal League, and I think that probably will have the closest impact in Lake County, and I will definitely be bringing that up.
Yeah, any guidance that they can provide. It kind of, got thrown together at the last minute and had a lot of ramifications, both for municipalities and even for individuals. You weren't able to pay your incremental bills in the usual fashion. You either had to mail them or deliver them to the county. The bank wouldn't take local banks wouldn't take the incremental payments, which was a big inconvenience from what I've been told for local folks.
I think it's an excellent question, and I will try to get some kind of answer as soon as I can.
Thank you.
Bettina, the one question I wanted to ask is when I looked at your general fund bullet point, you had said that the largest decline was in property tax, obviously, and that was about $589,000. But in October, we did receive almost $518,000. So that's a great collection rate given the pandemic, but it's also slightly less than what we might normally expect. The timing's off and the rate of collection is off. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I just wanted to include that comment so that you would see that there was money that came in very shortly after the due date.
And so do we anticipate that that's kind of a permanent shortfall, or we just don't really know?
It shouldn't be a permanent shortfall, although we don't know absolutely. I mean, the payments should catch up throughout the year, when we get to the end.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, pardon that slight interruption.
You mean those great questions?
I beg your pardon?
Not your interruption. I had someone fly onto the table here. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, are there any other questions? Hearing none, could we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Stewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer. Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Okay. At this point, we're now to see, which is the acceptance of the FY 2019-20 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, so fondly called the CAFR. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Ankerman, and do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Toll. The Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, CAFR, provides a complete picture of the village's financial health and is comprised of the basic financial statements with footnotes, transmittal letter, a management and discussion analysis, detailed fund level statements with budget comparisons, and statistical information for the past 10 years. The village received an unmodified opinion from its auditors, Skiddich LLP, that the financial statements are fairly presented in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. This represents the highest opinion that an organization can receive. At the October 19th meeting, the Finance Committee reviewed the draft CAFR, met with Daniel Berg, who is a partner with Skiddich, and voted unanimously to recommend to the Village Board acceptance of the FY 2020 CAFR. The CAFR is available on the Village's website, and printed brown copies are available at Village Hall and the Public Safety Building. Are there any questions concerning the CAFR report for the administration? Okay, hearing none, please do a roll call.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Stewart.
Aye.
Okay, we'll turn it over for the Village Administrator's report.
Thank you, Madam President. In the packet is a cover memo that briefly talks about, in really broad brush, how the Historic Preservation Commission has spent an extended amount of time reviewing the question and completing a strategic planning process, really trying to answer the question of how can Lake Bluff better preserve and transmit its architectural history and really be good stewards in that regard. So over the past 3 years, the HPC has been discussing and debating these issues, and they've come up with a number of amendments that they are recommending in regards to the village's historic preservation regulations. And this is after soliciting feedback from a multitude of stakeholders, and they took a vote October 14th. And the record for that, I would label it incomplete. The approved minutes from that meeting have yet to be considered and handed off to the village board. Additionally, I think we're waiting for the video to be posted. It may have been done recently, but the idea that the board usually likes to consider these things in depth, and that includes having a complete record, that's not done yet. So what staff is suggesting at this point, rather than going through a very detailed review of all the amendments, is to have the village board either set up a meeting to talk about these items in detail at an upcoming committee of the whole meeting. I know I've had a conversation today with the village president. We've spoken at length about the idea of even referring this back to the Historic Preservation Commission for further discussion and dialogue. There has been a number of comments received by community members that have been handed off to you all over the last 48 hours, and as recently as 4 o'clock today, they were still coming in, and probably closer to 60 comments so far. I expect more to come in over the next few days. There are 2 people here present tonight that wish to add to that list of comments, but that would really conclude my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Let me add just where we've gone a little bit from here. What I'm going to suggest happen, that the board will do. I spoke today with Steve Kraus, who was chair of the HPC, and I asked him to take back this draft ordinance to the entire HPC and have further discussions and dialogues with the community as a whole regarding the various provisions of this draft, and listen and respond to all the various viewpoints with the potential perhaps for modifications, changes, before it eventually comes back to the board. This is, as we all know, is not a new issue to come up in the village. The idea of proposing historic districts has been raised and dropped because of strong opposition at the time it was proposed. At the same time, whenever there's been a tear down of a prominent home themes in the community, such as the Lawton Crosby home, Colonel Sexton House, 512 Sunrise, and the home on the corner, more recently on the corner of Moffett and Prospect, there has also been a hue and cry about a need for stronger preservation ordinance for the village. It seems sometimes to feel like it's preservation versus property rights. And I'm guessing that I'm hoping that with thoughtful and robust exchange of dialogue among all interested parties, there might be found some common ground so that we might break, has become a decades-old cycle. And we'll probably, at some point, if we can't come to some kind of workable solution or agreement, it'll come up again. So we're putting on the brakes. I'm suggesting that we put on the brakes to this process, and so to give free rein to an exchange of community thoughts and ideas. So I hope the board will allow me to send this back to the HPC for open meetings and dialogue.
Certainly support that, Madam President. Makes sense. No objection.
Do we want to hear if anyone who showed up at the
Oh yes, we're
hall
going
would like to speak?
Oh yes, we're going to hear. Yeah, but I just want to make sure that you have any questions on that. Okay, Drew, there's some folks that might like to speak.
They are present and ready.
Okay, good.
This is Margaret Miner. My family has been at 552 Sunrise since December of 1974. The comments that the village president just shared is exactly what I would hope for. If we have a common goal and work together, we can achieve things. From what I read, the people that were solicited to have a voice already had a bias because they were interested in historic preservation. It didn't appear that there was a solicitation of viewpoints that might be different. And if we get together and work together, I think we'll have a more robust solution, as the village president just stated. So I'm appreciative of you sending it back for further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret.
And Madam President, if I may, just to clear up a few things. I know at the last Historic Preservation Commission meeting, that meeting was specifically, the HPC reached out to the real estate community and the development community specifically for their input on that. And maybe the participation was not as robust as everyone had liked, but nonetheless, that was done at the last meeting for certain.
Except I asked if there was a random sampling of residents, and the answer was no, there was not. So they solicited people that go to the Historic Museum. They listed it out, actually, I believe. People that had attended museums had been participatory in other meetings. So I don't know that it was a broad reach, but that could be my bias. So
Yeah, and yeah. I think they tried to reach out. I think there was 98, almost 100 solicitations sent out to a variety of stakeholders, landmark property owners. So people maybe have, like you were describing, the building community, builders.
yeah, although I talked to 3 builders that
Yeah.
are probably the most busy here in town.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
anyway,
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yes. It's great to meet you, by the way. I loved your parents.
They loved you too.
They were great.
Do we have someone else that would like to speak?
Yes.
Yeah. I really agree with Margaret. My name is Jean Royster. I feel that you know, I've watched Lake Bluff over 40 years. I've been a homeowner here, and I've watched the evolution. And from talking to people in the community and bringing lots of people in and young couples, and I feel that they really like the way Lake Bluff has evolved. And I feel that we have an architectural review in place, and they've done a very nice job. And Lake Bluff looks great. And anybody that I've spoken to likes it the way it is and feels very good about it and doesn't feel that this is necessary. It's not necessary to make people jump through more hoops. And basically, they would just like not to be entertaining this idea at this time. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Is there anyone else, Drew, that would like to speak this evening?
Let's see if anybody who is attending virtually certainly wants to raise their hand and offer comment on this item. Now is the time to do so.
Mr. Irvin? We do have one, I can read it out loud, or if you'd like to, you do have a written comment from Miss Annie Linsky here.
Sure, I'll read it. The real estate brokerages did receive the intended communications from the HPC. So thank you, Annie, for doing that, and thank you very much, Annie. Thank you, Glenn.
Okay.
And let's see, there is a hand raised, Madam President.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it's the same person, Annie. So we will bring her over to the other side here. Give me a minute.
All right.
Annie, you can speak.
Drew, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, I apologize. I am multitasking. The real estate brokerages did not receive the communication from the HBC.
Okay.
I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker. My manager did not receive it. I know that the manager of Berkshire Hathaway also did not receive it. And every realtor that we've talked to was completely unaware of it. So I just want it to be known that the real estate community did not weigh in on this.
Thank you, Annie, and that's why we're pushing the pause button and trying to seek information from everybody and take this slow and deliberate so that hopefully, as I said, I'd love to be able to find some common ground here. And I think
much appreciated.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
And Annie, just so you know, I know you're on the line still. Your comment says did receive it, so I didn't want to misrepresent you if what you said was different than what your written comments. So just wanted to clarify that for the listening audience.
Trying to respond.
Okay.
I was trying to respond very quickly, Drew, and missed the key word.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Okay. Anyone else this evening? All right. Let's see. I need this is an informational thing. We're asking to accept this report. I think do I have to get a first and a second? I just think we just accept this report.
You can just make a motion to refer it.
All right. I'm going to actually make okay. Thank you. We have a motion to defer and refer to the HPC. Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Dewar. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Charlot. Roll call, please.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Charlotte.
Aye.
Trustee Dewar.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye. Okay, the village attorney's report.
I have no report tonight, Madam President.
I am so surprised. Thank
I had
you.
one last week.
You did. I was more surprised at that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Madam President, if I may, I had one more item that I did not include on the.
Oh, I am so sorry.
That's okay. You wouldn't know that. It was not on the agenda. I just was going to give a quick verbal report. For the last several weeks, there's been an item on the agenda regarding the ongoing conversations with the Beans owners of 718 Mountain and a possible license agreement to utilize village property for them to complete certain improvements at their property. Those conversations are continuing. We are going back and forth with the details of the license agreement. It just wasn't ready for prime time yet, and so I just want to let you know that those conversations are still ongoing. You'll probably see that very soon.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Righty. All right, village president's reports. I think I interjected with the village administrator's report, but I also would like to ask to extend the village's president's declaration of civil emergencies, which first started on March 18, 2020, and subsequently has been extended to the next board meeting up until now, and I would like permission to see that if you will approve extending it to our next meeting.
So moved.
So thank you very much, and that was Mr. Meyer, thank you, and a second, please.
Second.
Second by Ms. Markey. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
All right, we now have acceptance of the correspondence, which is all correspondence which was delivered to the village board in the informational reports on October 9th and 16th. Do I have a motion to accept the correspondence?
So moved.
Mr. Charlot, and then seconded by Ms. Markey.
Mrs. Markey first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, all right, roll call, please.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Okay, we're now on to agenda item number 11, which is a resolution amending resolution 2017-34 to expand the outdoor dining facility for Prairie Perspective LLC, also known as Prairie Espresso, on Scranton Alley. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Tola. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Stewart. All right. In conjunction with the board's approval of Prairie Espresso special use permit and liquor license amendments on October 12th, Prairie Espresso also requires an amendment to their license agreement for the use of village property to add additional outdoor seating. The attached resolution would authorize the addition of 2 tables on the public sidewalk in front of Prairie Espresso's new 79 East Scranton Avenue tenant space, as shown in your attached site plan that you received. The conditions of Prairie Espresso's current outdoor dining approval would continue to apply and are consistent with those applied to other sidewalk occupants in the central business district. Are there any questions regarding this? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Item number 12, which is an ordinance amending Title I of the Municipal Code regarding the comprehensive fee schedule, which is basically ambulance and emergency service fees. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Meyer, and do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Charlot. This is first reading, okay? So that means in 2 weeks' time we will have second reading. The village has last examined and modified ambulance fees in 2011 when the village was engaged in negotiations with the City of Lake Forest regarding our IGA for ambulance services. Ultimately, the village determined to cap the village's subsidy of ambulance services and shift the burden on the individual service user rather than continue having the taxpayer foot the bill for the greatest portion of the cost. Effective January 1st, 2011, everyone using ambulance services was to be billed at a rate of $1,335 per transport, with the village continuing to subsidize a portion of that bill from the general fund, which turned out to be $533 per transport. Consistent with the financial arrangement with the city of Lake Forest, the village's fee structure was indifferent to the level of service provided, whether it was basic life support services or advanced life support services. As we are aware, the village recently resolved a dispute with the city of Lake Forest, and the new fee structure now resembles a time and materials approach, which will include new rates for transports, non-transport, where a person declines transport, left assist, and canceled call for services. After much discussion, the Finance Committee unanimously voted on October 7th to recommend the village board modify the fee schedule to reflect current service demands, better align with the recently adopted IGA structure, and attempt to offset related emergency service expenses. Because Lake Forest billing rates to the village are dynamic, these actual rates will fluctuate depending on numerous factors, including total member calls. The village will need to revisit this fee schedule following every annual reconciliation by the city of Lake Forest. The attached ordinance includes recommended service fee schedule. For the current billing rate, which has been at $1,335, the proposed schedule would now be $1,732. If they were not transported, it was zero cost. However, now, no transport and treatment services, it is now $250. There was no, in the previous billing, cost for lift assist. Now, lift assist will be $100. Mileage, there was no cost for mileage, and mileage is now at $7.27 per mile. Progressive billing approach, similar to false alarms, $100 for first call, $150 for second call, and $300, therefore, for all other calls in a 12-month period. Do we have any questions to administrators for this? Okay, hearing none, this is first reading. Roll call, please.
Trustee Dort.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Charlotte.
Aye.
Agenda item 13, which is an ordinance amending the Lake Bluff Municipal Code regarding no parking areas, which will be south side of East Woodland and east of Sheridan Road. Do I have a motion, please? Again, this will be first reading approval.
So moved.
A motion, please.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Markey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Charlot. The Lake Bluff Municipal Code.
Mr. Toll.
Oh, Mr. Toll. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm entrenched today.
That's all right. Hey, all right. All righty. The Lake Bluff Municipal Code establishes traffic schedules and rules for the parking of motor vehicles, which from time to time are modified to further promote order, safety, and ease of movement for pedestrians, cyclists, and vehicles. Currently, the parking rules permit parking between Sheridan Road and Oak Avenue for no more than 2 hours on the south side of East Woodland Road and prohibit parking between Sheridan Road and Oak Avenue on the north side of East Woodland Road. After consulting with property owners in the immediate area, village staff has determined that permitting parking on the south side of the street just east of Sheridan Road may prevent vehicles, including municipal service and emergency response vehicles, from freely traversing these streets. This intersection is distinct from other east-west road connections along Sheridan Road in that there are residents on both the north and south side of the intersection in relatively close proximity to the property lines that limit visibility when vehicles are making eastbound turning movements. Fire Chief David Graff, Police Chief Hosking, and Village Engineer Jeff Hansen all support the implementation of this additional parking limitations. Any questions, comments by the trustees?
I just wanted to make sure that I read this right when I looked at it. I looked at it on the map and everything. We're not banning parking on the entire south side of the road from Sheridan
to O on Woodland. We're just banning parking closest to the corner so that when people make that turn onto the road, they can see. Did I get that right, Drew?
You got it exactly right, the first 100 feet.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go first.
I was going to say, since this is kind of it is a public safety issue and raises issues of visibility, I'd certainly be in favor of waiving second reading so we can just get this done.
Good point. I have a question. I always thought that at least the first 50 feet between the street line turning onto it and the next street had to be open, that you couldn't park 50 feet to an intersection. Am I correct on that or not?
I don't think that's true in the village's code. I'm not aware if that is a underlying motor vehicle code limitation, and I would defer to Chief Hosking on that. Mike, do you know?
You know, Mike?
And so my guess is maybe President O'Hare has been written for such a citation.
I'm sorry,
No,
I really don't know. I have not seen that.
Okay.
But I can look for it.
I am sure I read it in my motor vehicles thing at my last test. I just was asking. I was curious on that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that certainly makes sense as a visibility.
I would bow to the village president then.
Yeah, assuming you're correct, President O'Hara, 50 feet, this is pushing it back to 100.
Or 100 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Okay, all righty. Okay, we have a motion for this, but also a motion to waive second reading. So let's, village attorney, let me see if I've got my etiquette correct here. Can I do it amended or do I have to do two votes?
No, you waive second reading and then on approval and adoption as amended.
Okay. Well, I looked at it to waive second reading and on approval that will be adopted. Roll call, please.
Well, I'm sorry, you had a motion. I don't think you had a second to do that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay.
Mr. Charlo, okay. Thank you.
So this is a motion to waive second reading.
Yes.
I'm sorry, wait a minute. Drew,
No. We have to,
that's not what you said.
resolve the initial issue first.
Right, and
Okay,
then waive second reading.
Right, so,
Yeah.
so let's just, the motion should be to approve on first reading as amended.
Okay.
All right, ready? Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewar.
Aye.
Now motion to adopt as amended.
Okay, now we have do I need another motion to waive second reading?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer, and do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Charlo. Roll call, please.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewar.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Item number 14, which is a resolution granting temporary approval to operate and conduct a farmer's market order pickup on village property. Do I have Mr. Dewar and a second?
Second.
Second, I think it was Mr. Toll. Yep. As reported at the board's last meeting, the Farmers Market Committee is proposing to conduct a winter pickup point for market vendors this winter. The attached resolution authorizes the Farmers Market order pickup on the north side of the train station parking lot on Fridays through the start of the next regular Farmers Market in June 2021. Consistent with the market's goals, the order pickup would support traffic to the central business district during the winter months. The pickup will operate for 1 hour on Friday mornings with 10 to 12 vendors participating. An initial trial will begin in November through December with the possibility for this service to continue in early 2021 based on customer demand. Customers will only be allowed to purchase pre-ordered items from the vendors that will be available for pickup only. There will be no shopping at the train station parking lot. As the Lake Bluff Metro station ridership and the purchase of train station parking lot passes remain depressed due to the COVID-19 emergency, the farmers market order pickup will be conducted on the north side of the train station parking lot. While the village retains an independent contractor to serve as market manager for the summer market, no staffing is planned for the order pickup nor any other significant expenses. This service will require minimal signage and advertising, and village services, police, public works, etc., will not be required to support the order pickup during the allotted hour each week. Are there any questions regarding that?
How do we participate if we see this and say, oh, this looks fantastic, I might be interested in pre-ordering something? How do we find out more?
That was my question, yeah. How do we know? How's this going to be advertised? I think we'd like to know.
Glenn, do you want to talk about what the committee's plans are in that regard?
Certainly. So it is, I would emphasize, a very low-key affair. Orders are taken by individual vendors, so we'll have a website, a page up on the village website, much like the page we have today for the summer market, that lists those participating vendors and information about how to place an order with each.
And this was quietly tested last year.
You mean sub rosa? Nobody knew about it? None of us knew about it.
That's right.
Oh, soft opening.
Yes.
Soft opening, okay.
The official kicking of the tires. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I think it's tremendous.
I think it's an interesting concept. I like it.
Yeah, I really hope it's successful, Glenn.
And just like the idea of the farmers market plays or has played in this community as an economic development tool to give people another reason to be in our central business district, we're hopeful that that will ring true with this as well. You know, if they drive here to pick up, maybe they drive by and swing to pick up a meal at the same time or visit one of our shops. So hopefully that continues to play that role.
I think it's a neat idea.
With the anticipated stress of the coming few months, I think as we've looked at a lot of other things, whether historic tours or dogs on the bluff, I think these kinds of things help to ameliorate or mitigate some of the stress and kind of add to the community at a tough time.
How are we planning on advertising this? Just on our website? Are there any other thoughts about how that might be able to reach a larger audience?
Sure. So, you know, we are going to pass on a fee to participating vendors. Some of that just covers, you know, comparable to what would have been charged for parking, and then some of that will be limited advertising. We're seeing, again, the website, probably the village's community signboards, you know, mentions in our e-newsletter, and perhaps a small amount of Facebook advertising. Again, certainly trying to keep this as I would like to do mailings or things like that. That's a pretty expensive endeavor, so trying to keep this a low budget affair.
Okay. Any other?
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I was just going to ask, I'm sure, I know ridership is way down on the metro, but we're not concerned about other employees of other businesses that park in the train station. We got plenty of room. We have plenty of room in that
Plenty of room.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
This Saturday, the annual shredding event was held with the Lake Forest Bank and Trust they usually hold it right in front of the bank in that little loading zone. They asked if they can hold it in the train station lot this year and do a touchless, if you will, where they came to your vehicle and picked up anything you wanted shredded. And there was, I mean, I went and tested it myself this weekend. It worked very well, but there were zero conflicts with parking. So sadly, sad to report. I assume that's going to continue for the immediate future.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Are there any other? Okay. Could we have a roll call then?
Trustee Toll.
Aye.
Trustee Ankman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustees report this evening. Trustees, have anything that you'd like to discuss? Bring up? Okay. we don't have to have executive session if we can do the minutes of the October 12th, 2020 executive session minute meeting, and then we will be able to adjourn this evening. So do I have a motion for the minutes of October 12th, executive session?
So moved.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Toll, seconded by Mr. Dewart. Roll call, please.
Trustee Inkerman.
Aye.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll.
And could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Meyer, and a second, please.
Second.
A second by Ms. Markey. Roll call again, please.
Trustee Sherlock.
Aye.
Trustee Dewart.
Aye.
Trustee Markey.
Aye.
Trustee Meyer.
Aye.
Trustee Toll. Trustee Inkerman.
Aye.
All right, we are hereby adjourned. Everyone have a rest of the week and make it safe and healthy for everybody. Thank you
Good
very
night,
much.
good night, everybody, and thank you.
All right.
Good night.